Good evening and welcome. My name is Crystal Side Sanders, and I want to talk to you tonight about a subject that is near and dear to my heart. The subject is single motherhood. Being a single mother is not something I ever dreamed about, wanted for my life, or thought that would ever happen to me. I grew up in a small town. I dreamed of going to college, getting my degree, falling in love, getting married, having 2.5 kids and a dog, and just doing the whole American dream, owning the house, the car, everything. Well, it didn't work out that way. And so now I find myself finishing my degree at 38 and having 2 children on my own. My visual aid, I had to show you my family. This is Gavin. He will be 13 in May. Caitlin is 11 in 2 weeks. And this little thing is Lola, the third baby I didn't know I needed. And this is my family. This is the glue that holds us all together. Being a single mom is probably the toughest job I've ever had. It forced me to grow up. It forced me to make decisions in my life, to think about someone other than myself, and to really plan what was needed for my future. I've been a single mom since my children were 2 and infant. My ex-husband and I divorced, and I had the privilege and responsibility of raising these children. I had an associate's degree and not a lot of job experience. I went from job to job doing what's best for our family at the time. I was an administrative assistant to some. I was an actual assistant to the fixer-upper couple, Chip and Joanna Gaines, back in the day before they got on TV. All the while doing what I could to was provide and do what was best for our family. I would say the job I took that most benefited my children was I was a daycare director for 4 years. I'd never been in the daycare business. I never wanted to. I don't have a huge, deep love for education or children, but I did have a business sense, and I knew my children needed to be in an environment where I was close to them and they were getting education. So I became basically an administrative assistant and worked my way up from there to director of the daycare in under 4 years. During that time, I learned so much about education. I learned so much about administration. My children were always in the building with me, even though there were 400 others in the building. And those were some of the sacrifices my job and my career took to be a single mom. I now have a career I really enjoy and that my children enjoy, and I will be finishing my degree in May, so that's very exciting. But you do have to put them first. That's a little bit of the history. Now I want to talk about the struggles of single motherhood. And really single parenting in general, but I'm just speaking from a mother's point of view. It is a struggle. There's so many. There's financial. You're one income. There is child support. There is assistance, but you're still one income for a family. There is the nights of you have to go to work in the morning and your child is sick. So you still have to get up in the middle of the night with your child. You still have to make sure they're taken care of, but you still have to be at work. One of the biggest struggles I personally had was decision making. I came from a family that was very much everything decided for me, to a husband that was 10 years older, so he decided everything, to now I had 2 children I had to make all the decisions for. That was a complete struggle. I've grown a lot in that, thank goodness. But it really was a difficult transition for me to realize I was responsible for these children, for their health, for their well-being, for their emotional stability, and to take care of that and make all the decisions. I would say in the 13 years we've been doing it, things have grown and I'm fully capable, but in the beginning it was a very scary, very trying time. Some of the benefits of single motherhood is we have a lot of fun. We are a tight group. Their dad will even say that he knows they love them and he's in touch every day, but we are a tight unit. It's not always great. There are fights, there's discipline, but I have their back and they have mine. And it's very important to me that they have a stable foundation, that they have a place to call home, even if we've rented duplexes and apartments and, had to go where I could afford, but you still have a home. And that was very important to me to provide that for the children. The other benefits are just, in some ways the decision making was hard in the beginning. It was a struggle, but now I can't imagine sharing that, which I know is not the way most families are made up. But these children are mine, and I make the decisions for what is best for their well-being, what's best for our household. If we want to take a vacation to the beach, there's no one to consult. We take a vacation to the beach. So at times, yes, it's lonely, but it's also very fulfilling to look at these wonderful creatures and know that you raised them, know that you had a part in that. To look at your job and see that in 4 years you became a daycare director. See that in 5 years with Wells Fargo, you're now leading a team of 5, when in the beginning you knew nothing. So there's pride in that too, to know that we've made it. Basically, we have made it. I used to say I wanted to thrive. No, I wanted to survive, not just thrive. And now I really want to thrive. We've gotten through the survival stage. We're all up and bigger. Now I want to thrive. And I think we're really doing that, all three of us, in school, in college, in our jobs, in athletics. I really feel that we're doing that. As a single mom, there were many resources I didn't realize in the beginning that were so helpful. There's WIC, Women, Infant, and Children, that the state provides, which for the first 5 years of a child's life can help you either get formula or a breast pump, food for the children, educational classes. That was very helpful. Of course, there's Medicaid. We did not have to do that, but it is there. There is childcare assistance, which was monumental to me. I had to work. There was no choice, but my children had to be taken care of. So childcare assistance was a very, I couldn't have done it for many, many years without it. In fact, I'm such a big believer in that when I was a daycare director, I actually taught classes at CareNet, a local organization here in Waco, to educate others on the importance of the childcare and how you can get your children preschool, how it can help you to go to school or go back to work. It's just a great organization. Yes, it's tedious with paperwork, and it is a government organization just like anything else, but it's very wonderful for any parent in that situation. It's not just single parenting on that. I have been helped through churches. I have been helped through, I just have a really great network of friends here in Waco. I don't have family in town. We now consider Waco our home, even though my family's not here. But we have just a great group of people that are always willing to help us. And in that also, my ex-husband, their father is always, he lives about 30 minutes down the road, but his family's here and they've been a big help. That is the other thing I would say about single motherhood. There's so many hurt feelings and there's so much problems that it can be overwhelming, but always put the children first. My ex-husband and I have maintained a civil friendship, to where we always put our kids first, and our kids have benefited from that. And so that's probably the biggest thing I've learned, that yes, it hurts. Yes, things happen for a reason. There's a reason you're a single parent, but you always put the children first, and good things will come out of that. So you put good things into the air, they will come back to you. So I've talked about the history of how I became a single mom, the struggles, the benefits, the resources, a few of my different jobs. I'm so excited that I'm graduating in May with my degree in business. I'm so excited that my son is already talking about college at 13, and he's seen me through this journey. My daughter is excited and already talking about becoming a nurse practitioner. And I really feel that we're changing the dynamics of our family. And so even though I wish you could see a picture of how we were 10 years ago, where I had that minimum wage job, I was struggling to survive. We were struggling just to keep the house together, and how everything was going to come together, to 10 years down the road, I'm going to be a college graduate. My children are excited about school, looking forward to school, involved in athletics. I have a job I absolutely love and can't wait to move up in. And it's just been an incredible journey. And I don't know that I could have done it if I didn't have to go through the hard times. So I want to thank you for listening today to something, as you can tell, I'm very passionate about. Single parenthood. There's no greater calling in the world. There's no greater job in the world. Definitely the toughest job I'll ever have, but I love it. And thank you so much for being my audience, and I hope everyone has a good evening. Thank you.